Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you, can you smell what the Spider Slayer is buying? That's right, guys, I got some great books here to show you today. This is the video series where I go back issue diving and find some cool little key comic books. We do a total, we find out how much they're worth and how much I paid for them, and also we do the weekly smell test to find out which is the smelliest comic book out there for the week. So guys, before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to MutantBeaverComics.com. Guys, they have over 1,000 exclusive comic book covers in their store. They have a great packaging, great customer service. So if you guys are interested in any of these covers I'm showing you here today, go on to MutantBeaverComics.com. Use my promo code CORNER10 where you can save 10% off your order and future orders after that. I'll leave it in the description box below. All right, guys, so here we go. Let's get started with this week's episode. You're going to have a lot of fun here, and I did some numbers and all that other great stuff. However, the first book I'm not going to take out of the package because this one is in really good shape, and even though it's not worth that much, I did wind up getting this Batman issue 492. It is actually signed by Kelly Jones, so you can see the signature right there, and it also has a certificate of authenticity in there also. So I did not want to take this one out of its bag and board, but this was a great little purchase to add to my Batman collection. I think this is like the second Batman book I have signed and authenticated, however you want to say that. So I paid $12.99 for that book. And if you look at issue 492, honestly, if graded, it's not even worth sending to CGC. But I don't know if this gives it an added value, being that is signed and has a certificate of authenticity with it, right? Okay, so that one's out of the running for smelliest. So next, we wound up getting Detective Comics issue 656. Great looking book. More Kelly Jones artwork on there. Love this one. Here's some of the interior artwork, which this book is in great shape. And again, these books are, you know, bargain bins. They're cheap. You can get these anywhere, right? Whew, smelling this one, it smells. I wasn't expecting this to smell so bad, but for this one, for issue 656, I paid $3 for this book, and again, not worth getting it graded. They have it as like a $10, but why would you submit that and spend all that money, right? So not even worth mentioning the value there. Next, I wound up getting issue 666, and that's the only reason why I bought it, because it was issue 666. I paid $2.50 for this book, and same thing, not worth getting this graded. This book is not worth anything. It's Nightfall Part 18. Cool little cover there. Again, Kelly Jones artwork with Batman with the extended ears and the Bane on there. Here's some more of that interior artwork. So this is a very clean book. Too bad, again, these books aren't worth anything, but still always good to have in a Batman collection, right? All right, next we have a cool little book that I wound up getting. I recently got issue 1 of the Fist of Khonshu Moon Knight, and my shop had more, so they wound up having the Fist of Khonshu Moon Knight issue 4. So really nice looking book. This is in high grade quality here. So obviously, you know, Moon Knight is going to be all the discussion and all the hype, and obviously there's going to be a lot of spec around it. So I was like, oh, these books are pretty inexpensive, so why not pick this book up? When it comes to this particular issue, I wound up paying $8 for this one, and if it is graded and it's a 9.8, that one will cost you about $50. All right, so then they had another one, and I wound up getting the Fist of Khonshu Moon Knight issue 6. So this one is also in really good shape. Love the cover of this. This is so well done here. And then let's check out some of the interior artwork in here. They have an ad for like wannabe GoBots. Like, I didn't even know there was wannabe GoBots. Here's some more artwork, right? We're going to do a smell test. Yeah, it's a little musty, dude, but that's like the perfect amount of must right there. It's just, it gets that good comic book smell. But this one I paid $8 for, and this one, if you get it graded and it's a 9.8, is $50. All right, next. I like this book. I've been eyeing this book for a long time. It doesn't have a lot of value. It's like a little minor key. And this is the all-new, the all-daring Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 116. This is when black-suited Spider-Man does battle against Sabretooth. So obviously at this time, Sabretooth is a newer character in the Marvel Universe. So this has a little bit of value to it. This is a book that's in really good shape on the outside. It's in really good shape in the inside as well. With a press, I think this book could be a 9.8 if you decided to send it out. But if you send it out, it's not really worth it because the value of this book may be graded is about in the $30 range. I looked it up. So yeah, pretty cool. Again, I paid for this book, what was it? $10. So let's do the smell test on this one. Wow, this is even the more perfect musty smell. Like, it's not overbearing. This is the perfect old comic book smell right here. This one right here. All right. Next, we're going to move on to a couple of cool DC books here. And this one, it goes to Green Lantern issue 108. This is where Green Lantern has Green Arrow co-starring on it. So this was kind of cool, and it had like this bat-like character on there. I was like, who is that? I'm like, but that's not Batman, right? So when it comes to this Green Lantern book, I spent $4 for this book, and graded, if it's at a 9.8, it's $50. This is nowhere near 9.8. I would say it has a potential to being like a 7, maybe. But here's some of the interior artwork in here. I mean, 7 is a stretch even too when I look at the back cover, but it's still all complete. It's a little bit of cream color pages, you know, no tears or anything like that. It's a solid put together book. Here's some more artwork. It's a good looking book, man. All right, so let's smell this one. This doesn't smell like anything. It's very, very calm smelling day, right? All right, then the next one I wound up getting is Green Lantern Green Arrow issue 109. So it's in part 2 of that story, and I paid $6 for this one, and same price range. If you get this one graded at a 9.8, it's probably going to be around $50 or so. Here's some more of that interior artwork. So more of the same of what you basically just saw from the last comic. You know, I want to try to find more of these older Green Lantern issues. Green Lantern is my favorite DC character, just based off of the Kyle Rayner run, and I have that entire run, but I don't have too much of the original Green Lantern run or the volume 2. So that's pretty cool. Smell test? Yep, primo. All right. Next, and last but not least, I wound up getting, and this is funny, Marvel Premiere featuring the Jack of Hearts. This is issue 44. This book here, I paid $3. Getting it graded, not worth it. Has low value, like $20. But I picked this up only because when I read She-Hulk, I saw that the Jack of Hearts was at the end of that book. That day when I was at the comic book store and I was looking for back issues, right? Before I even looked at the She-Hulk book, I saw this issue in the back issue bins. I was like, Jack of Hearts. I'm like, I don't even know who that guy is. I was like making fun of him. I'm like, this guy's a joke. And then he shows up at the She-Hulk book. So I had to go back and I had to pick this one up. I thought that was a hilarious coincidence. So this book doesn't mean really anything or mean any value to me, but now I have a story connected to this book. And I think that's awesome, right? So let's check out the interior on this book. So here we go. We get to see a little bit of Jack himself, right? So that's kind of cool. And then here we go here. So pretty cool stuff, right? And let's smell this one. Oh, and this one smells fine too. All right, so if I had to take a winner of the smelliest book of the week, and not all of them smelled that bad, I have to give it to, yes, I have to give it to Batman issue 656. This one smells not like death horrible, but it smells pretty bad, and you wouldn't expect it to smell as bad as it did. So 656 gets the title for the week. So what did I spend total on these comic books? Well, I spent $59.50. So which brings my total for the year on back issue purchases under $20 to $146.50. So there you guys have it. There is this week's episode of Can You Smell What the Spider Slayer is Buying? Guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell. And speaking of content, check out my content right here where I talk about the most anticipated independent comic books getting ready to come out. And of course, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep reading those comics. Thanks, guys.